I built a camera slider from scratch because I'm too cheap and I'm too stubborn to buy one. But does it work? Well, why don't you tell me, huh? If I didn't edit in video right here, this is going to be a terrible intro. First things first, please go ahead and like this video. It helps everybody. All right, it only helps me, really. Everybody in the video is helped by you liking the video. Also, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you can see all the new stuff that I'm making. And hey, maybe you can learn from some of my mistakes, because we all know that I'm not doing that, so maybe somebody should. All right, so camera slider, right? Here's the deal. I wanted better B-roll for my finished product, right? When I get those final shots of the thing that I've made, I want them to look significantly better. Easiest way to do that is to not have such static shots. I want some motion. I want some dynamism, right? I want some action to those shots. Best way to do it is with a camera slider for that sweet, smooth, silky, linear motion. But as per usual, I'm too cheap to buy one, so I made my own.
You know, like you do.
So I have some 2020 aluminum extrusion just lying around. And so I went ahead and designed this thing right here. This is a simple little 3D print that's able to ride the rail on these 608 skate bearings that I just printed some little V-roller wheels for. It's actually really cool, really smooth in operation, until of course you put a camera on there, and then it's terrible. You see, my problem was the center of gravity was way out in front of the rail because I'm using a DSLR with a big old chunky lens on there. And that means that this rear bearing is being pulled up and it's being forced against the aluminum extrusion. So rather than riding it in harmony, it's kind of fighting the rail the whole time, which caused some significant shuddering. That's going to be a problem for me. Here, just, you know what? Just take a look at this twisty, terrible nonsense test footage that I got from it. Look at it bouncing around. Look at the lens. Look at how much vertical bounce is in that lens right there. That's not okay. Okay, so if the problem is that my bearings are shuddering, what if there were no bearings?
Because I am a genius.
You see, instead of using 2020 aluminum extrusion, I want to use the stainless steel rod that I recovered from some salvaged inkjet printers. And instead of using those skate bearings, I'm going to use this PTFE bushing that, what do you know, just slides right on top. Now, these are very short, but this is going to be the small scale test that I'm going to use to see how this thing works. So let's see how it goes. I think that's a really, really solid test. Unfortunately, it now means I have to order some significantly longer rods because my rods are really short and thin.
Phrasing?
So I ran out and ordered some 8mm smooth rod, 700mm long. Some big rods. Also, not cheap ones either. It's a lot more than I'd like to spend, but my confidence level is extremely high.
Huge steaming ball of foreshadowing.
Boy, oh boy, things started going wrong immediately. I was printing out the new legs, and they would not come unstuck from my build surface. I ended up just cutting the build surface because it's not coming loose. It's just part of these legs now. That's it. It's where it lives. And in terms of performance, it's only marginally better than the first one because this is actually shot with my phone, and even that is enough to cause those rods to kind of bend and flex and bounce around. All right, so if a single 2020 aluminum extrusion doesn't do the trick, and if two 700mm smooth rods are apparently the bendiest thing ever made, well then what about two 2020 aluminum extrusions? Well, I would definitely say it's good enough. Now, is it perfect? No, but one day it will be. One day I'm going to improve this thing. I'm going to make an automatic camera slider with a microcontroller, a stepper motor, and some GT12 timing belt. It's going to be fantastic. And if you want to see that, get subscribed because it's coming at some point. And you will see me fail 56 times on my way to succeeding once, as is the norm. But hey, in the meantime, this thing sure as heck beats my shaky video from my unsteady hands.
Look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
All right, so are there lessons to be learned here? I don't know, I guess. I mean, trial and error is an effective way to build a design, but it is not a very efficient way to do it. You can expect a whole heck of a lot of error along the way. And look, I could have done a lot more preparation ahead of time, right? I could have found the center of gravity on my camera and then tried to design that to be directly over the top of the rail. Maybe that first design would have worked if it was actually centered properly. I don't know. I also probably could have done some math to determine how long I could go with that 8mm smooth rod before its sagging became a significant issue. But that's math I don't fully understand, and I'll probably never do that. Look, the point is, I probably could have done a lot more prep, and who knows, maybe one day I'll actually learn that lesson and, I don't know, put it to use? Hey, get subscribed. Maybe you'll see that happen. In the meantime, this video is done. I thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. If you're with me this far, you are already my favorite viewer of all time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. You ever play the minecart levels in Donkey Kong Country and think, ooh, I want to put my camera on that? Whee! Whee! This is very compelling.